No, you can be involved, but like she said, shh. So we've done stats and we've done charts and graphs, and now I want to just work on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is to get your attention. Now, what kind of strategies do you guys use before you take your test? What do you do the night before? You study? You should have been studying all along. You try to relax your mind, right? Yeah, you should, the night before, you should have already studied, okay? Now, you might want to do a quick review right before you go to sleep just so it's in your subconscious. But don't spend too much time the night before. You need to rest. You really do need to rest. You need to get a good night's rest. Go to bed on time. Do not be cramming. You'll wake up really tired and you're not going to be physically ready to take that test. You want to put a few number 2 pencils and erasers in your backpack, but most of the time if you test downstairs, they give you the pencil papers or the computer. A lot of the tests that they do are on the computer. You should have done some studying with practice of problems and flashcards and all that well before the night before. But like I said, you might want to take your flashcards or some quick notes that you have about what you're going to study and just review it quickly. You can talk about parents or you can talk to people about some concerns you have, but this should have been done well before the night before. The night before, you need to just relax and clear your mind. Now, when you actually get up, should you eat a big breakfast? You should eat breakfast, but you should not overeat. Because a lot of times if you overeat, you feel sleepy. You want to be alert, okay? So you're going to start your day like you always do, and hopefully you have a little breakfast, okay? Just don't overeat and make yourself druggy. Try to relax. I know people get test anxiety. Blow it out. There's some exercises you guys can really do. Like you can just breathe in, blow out, relax your whole body forward, and twist your neck all the way around like this in a big circle. Relaxing your arms. Go to one way to the left and one way to the right. And try to get that tension out of your shoulders. I mean, you really do need to physically get yourself prepared to take the test. Some of these tests are like 2 hours long or longer, right? Like the writing test for GED is 2 hours long. So you need to relax. Think positively, not negatively. Don't go in there, oh, I'm going to fail, oh, I'm going to fail. Well, you know what? You're going to fail, okay? You need to think, I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to answer as many as I can, okay? Now, if you're given multiple choice questions, a lot of these tests have a lot of multiple choice questions. On the CASAs that you guys are going to be taking on Tuesday, it's mostly a multiple choice question, okay? So, if you don't understand the directions, ask for help. Don't sit there wondering what you're supposed to do. Read all the questions and all the choices before marking anything. Okay? If you know that you're a slow reader, you should read those questions first before you read the passage. But you want to read the passage and the questions. Pace yourself if it's timed. Now, you guys will be given a math test, and you have 1 hour to finish it. Some of you will have 30 questions. Some of you will have 32 questions. Some of you will have 34 questions. So you're going to be finishing around 30, 35 questions, okay? So don't spend too much time on one question. Do the best that you can and then move on. Don't leave anything blank on this test. If it's blank, it's wrong, okay? So at least try to do an educated guess on each question. If you need to answer the easy questions first and then go back, you can, but sometimes students have trouble tracking. What I would do is I would go ahead and mark an answer for that problem and then write down on your scratch paper the problem that you need to review. Okay? So if you have time, you can review it. Usually, since you have an hour and you only have 35 questions or so, most people finish it within an hour. Also, on multiple choice questions, try not to change your answers. Many times, students will change their answer and they've changed it to the wrong answer. Go with your first gut or your first idea. Okay? So unless you really know that you were thinking incorrectly, pick that first one that you chose. Then try to answer every single question and just do the best guess that you can do. Now, this is one thing that we have practiced even when we've been in class. Process of elimination. You go through the multiple choice questions and you eliminate anything that really makes no sense or really doesn't pertain. And you usually get it down to 2 choices. Then with those 2 choices, you have to pick the one that's most correct. Okay? You have to distinguish between them, and it might be just one little slight thing that makes it more correct. And we'll do a couple of these for practice today, okay? I know C isn't the answer, so I can just eliminate C and just look at the other choices. Also, with process of elimination, remember, it's usually down to 2 choices that it could possibly be, and you pick the one that's most right. Now, when you're answering questions, you only guess blindly. That means just arbitrarily guess without reading it at all if you run out of time. You guys should not be running out of time on the CASAS test. But if you're taking the GED test, you might have this situation where you run out of time. If you're running out of time and she calls, what does she usually call? 10 minutes and then 5 minutes? So she'll say, you got 10 minutes. And if you know you got like 5 more questions, hey, start bubbling. Because on the GED test, if it's blank, it's wrong. But if you have at least, you might get one of them right that you just guessed blindly. So I would not do a blind guess on the CASAS test that we're going to take on Tuesday. But if you're taking a GED test and you run out of time, I would guess and put some sort of answer down. So it really depends on which test you're taking. If you're taking a compass test, how many people said they were going to take the compass this week? Okay, if you're taking the compass test, you have all the time in the world. So you don't guess any of them blindly. Try to be as accurate as possible. Skipping and returning. On the CASAS, I would not skip. I would just go ahead and answer a question, write down the number, and then go back and review it. So put some sort of answer down initially, and then write down that number so you know that you need to go back and review it. And remember, you're going to have a whole hour to do it. And take all your time. Some people try to do it in 30 minutes. You don't have to do it in 30 minutes. Now remember, what did I tell you guys about keywords? What do keywords do for you? It helps you figure out what to do, right? Now remember, I told you guys the 5-step method to solving word problems. First of all, focus on the question that they're asking. Don't create your own question. Number 2, gather the information that you need from the word problem. that will give you the answer to the question. Number 3 would be set it up. Now, the keywords tell you how to set it up. If they say ratio, you know you have to use ratios and simplify it. If it says percentages, you know you're probably going to have to use the percent problem. If it says simplify, you know you're going to have to reduce the fraction. If it says product means